Their first-year coach, Norv Turner. Eagles have won the toss. They'll get the ball first. Chip Lohmiller will kick off for the Redskins. Vaughn Hebron and Herschel Walker are deep for the Eagles. It's a short kick, and it's taken by Walker at the 15. And Herschel Walker, with a fine power return, brings it out close to the 35-yard line, a return of 20 yards. Randall Cunningham comes in with 11 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. And the offensive line, Bernard Williams, Antone Davis, David Alexander, Lester Holmes playing with a broken right hand. Garner and Walker the backs, Williams and Barnett the receivers, and Mark Bavaro the tight end, as the Eagles start from their 35. And a play fake on first down, and Cunningham's pass, intended for Garner out of the backfield, is defended by Ken Harvey. Defensively for the Redskins, and this has been their strong suit so far this year. The defensive line, Sterling Palmer, Tim Johnson, rookie Lamar Mills starts in place of Bobby Wilson, who's out with a groin pull, and Tony Woods. Andre Collins, Tyrone Stowe, and Ken Harvey the linebackers. And in the secondary, Darrell Green having a good year with Morrison, Bayless, and Carter with him. Second down and 10. Here's Garner with the carry. Charlie Garner brings it out to the 40-yard line, where Bayless makes the stop. And a pickup of 5.
You know, he watched the Philadelphia Eagles at the beginning of the season and the third week, and now at the halfway point. What's the biggest difference? Take a look at him right there. Charlie Garner has made the Philadelphia Eagles a completely better offense. He's made the offensive line better. He's made the passing game get even better, and he's really helped Randall Cunningham because they don't have to rely on him.
Garner was taken out early against Houston with a bruised thigh, and of course, you know, he's had the rib problem all year. Third down and 5. 4 wide receivers for the Eagles. Cunningham with time, and the pass is tipped incomplete. It was intended for Calvin Williams, and the Eagles will have to kick.
A lot of time for Cunningham to throw that football, and also good coverage by the Washington Redskins in the secondary. You're going to watch Calvin Williams come across the motion. Now, there's not going to be anybody up front to give pressure. Nice job in the zone distribution by Carter and Collins inside. Got a nice break on the ball. It really had to be pinpoint. It wasn't. Brings up fourth down.
And Brian Barker, who has given the Eagles a lot better punting since he's taken over. Back deep is Brian Mitchell, who calls for the fair catch on the 10-yard line. So the Eagles will have the Redskins hemmed in somewhat, and the home debut of Gus Frerotte, the 197th pick in last year's draft, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions in his debut against the Indianapolis Colts. Lachey, Brown, Giesick, McKenzie, and Ed Simmons, the Redskins offensive line. Ricky Irvins and Cedric Smith, they've been an effective backfield duo. Ellard and Howard, the receivers. Ethan Horton, the tight end. So Frerotte will start from the 11-yard line. And here is Ricky Irvins. Maybe a yard, that's all. William Perry in the middle. Defensively for the Eagles. And they have really come up the line. They've replaced a lot of players. Townsend, Perry, Harmon, and Fuller. Fuller with a big game against his former team, the Oilers. Bill Romanowski, Byron Evans, and William Thomas are the linebackers. That's the strength. Eric Allen, Greg Jackson, Michael Zordich, and Mark McMillan make up the Eagles secondary. Second down and 9 from the 12. First pass. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Ellard. Zordich was covering on the play, and what a play he has given the Eagles.
Yeah, but Gus Frerotte knew exactly where to go with the first pass he's going to make in RFK Stadium. Get it right to the guy who has the most yardage in the National Football League, Henry Ellard. Now, what does Frerotte bring to this offense? Well, I think the biggest thing and plus that Frerotte has is the fact that he was in a pro-style offense in college at Tulsa with Dave Graber as head coach. I think he's comfortable with the scheme and what's trying to get done. And the other thing is he's a very fast learner. He doesn't seem to make the same mistake twice.
Last week, a big improvement on third down conversions by the Redskins. Third down and 9. Pressure on Frerotte, and the pass is caught by Ellard. and hit immediately that time by Otis Smith, the nickel back.
Dick, remember we talked at the start about all the different looks he's going to get. Well, Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, gives him look number one. He's going to bring Miano 38 right up inside, and what that's going to do is going to free Townsend. Nobody blocks him except the fullback dives at him, Ricky Irvins. But Farrat stays inside, nice and calm, gets the ball off, and gets a completion.
Reggie Roby will kick, and you can expect a lot of tricks from Bud Carson today. Back deep, Jeff Seidner for the Eagles. Roby gets off a kick, and it'll be Seidner on his 36. And hit and dropped. Kurt Govea with great special teams hustle. So each team has had the ball once, and will return to RFK Stadium after this. Two games at New Orleans in the second game of the year, and last week at Indianapolis, and the Philadelphia Eagles, fresh from the win over Houston, their only losses were to the Giants in the opening game of the year and 2 weeks ago at Dallas.
Lester Holmes in there, that broken right hand, number 73. That's going to be a challenge for him today. Look at the size of that thing. Now, that can be a plus and a minus. He can turn that thing into a weapon if he can take the pain inside. We'll watch him see how it goes.
Looks like a club on his right hand. Audible called by Cunningham. Two tight ends for the Eagles as they start from the 34. Swing pass, trying to lead Garner a little too much, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, 2 first downs, 2 passes. It looks like the Philadelphia Eagles want to come out throwing on first down and try to get that rhythm and get this guy here confidence. Now, we've spoke about Randall Cunningham all season long, and the book on him has always been, when he's good, he's as good as it's been, and when he's bad, he's bad. His highs are high and his lows are low. He needs to be more consistent at the high end.
He has had more highs than lows, though, this year. 2nd down and 10.
No question.
On the 34-yard line, and here is Garner running off the left side. That's been a big part of the Eagles' surge this year, has been the running game with Charlie Garner. Pickup of 3. It has been a close series throughout, even though the Eagles have won the last 4 games. No team has won by a bigger margin than 4 points in the last 6 contests dating back to 91.
Yeah, and I think if you take a look at those scores since 91, that's the same kind of game you're going to have today. Should be a close, tight game because both these teams are very familiar with each other. Remember, they already played once, so they have something to work off of to make their adjustments in.
James Joseph and Herschel Walker are the backs, and they send Walker in motion. Wide left. Cunningham's pass. Incomplete, intended for Walker, and Lamont Hollingquest, a nickel linebacker, was there to make the play against Walker.
I think what the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have to do is get away from that passing on first down because 2 incompletions meant 2nd and long, and a short gain puts them in 3rd and long. They don't want to be in 3rd and long.
Brian Barker, formerly with Kansas City, replaced Mitch Berger, the rookie who started and played the first 5 games. He's been punting well for the Eagles. Brian Mitchell will let the ball bounce. It stays in bounds, and once again, the Eagles will have the Redskins hemmed in. No score. Just the start of things on a beautiful day in Washington. Start from their 12 after starting from the 11 on their first possessions. This has been their problem, the 3 and outs and the turnovers.
Yeah, if you take a look at this, he's the 3 and outs and then the 22 turnovers. 49 of the 98 possessions have been disasters for them. Half the time they get the ball, they don't do anything with it. They've really got to be productive. More productive, I should say.
Farrat stays in the pocket, and the pass incomplete. He was going again for Eller. Don't question where Gus Farrat is going to, and that's the meal ticket. And one of the top receivers in the league, and Henry Ellard.
And then Henry Ellard, the ball's right there. The one thing that Farrat does is he's pretty accurate with his football. And, you know, you watched him last week. He was accurate again. No pressure on him. And now what Norv Turner has done is he's gone to that pass on first down, winning the chess battle against the Eagles, saying that they're not going to bring everybody on first down to give him more time.
2nd down and 10 on the 12-yard line. Ellard now goes in motion, followed by Allen. And the handoff to Brian Mitchell, and Mitchell brings it out to the 15-yard line. Rawley McKenzie, by the way, is now at center with Mark Schlereth at right guard.
And they're going to take this and they're going to run it right back up inside with Mitchell. Now, this Washington Redskin offensive line You can see pulling outside, nice block inside, and then Mitchell. They're not a physical group. They're not the Hogs of old. And because they don't really pound people off the line of scrimmage, they have to go more to the off-tackle stuff, trying to get an edge to try to set up the inside running game.
3rd down and 7 from the 15-yard line. The Redskins have not had good field position here in this first quarter. Farad has some time, and the pass incomplete. It was intended for Titus Winans, who caught a couple last week at Indianapolis. Derek Frazier, the nickelback, defending on the play, and there is Farrat's numbers so far. 1 for 4 for a total of 6 yards.
Well, we talked about him being calm and all that, but he's also going to have to be patient, because a defense like this, with all the different looks, it's not going to happen right away. Norv knows that, and what he wants to do and talked about is getting the high percentage stuff done early to give him that confidence and let him gain some patience.
Reggie Roby will kick from the goal line, and Jeff Seidner back for the Eagles. Fair catch by Seidner in Redskin territory, and the Eagles will start from the Washington 49-yard line. Still no score. That was a 34-yard kick by Roby. But the Washington Redskins have had to defend with bad field position. The Eagles average starting field position their own 40 versus the 12-yard line for the Redskins on their first 2 possessions. Meanwhile, Randall Cunningham has started off slowly. He is 0 for 4 as he begins this 3rd drive. Cunningham is 7 and 8 lifetime against the Redskins, looking to get to 500. Here's Charlie Garner, breaks the tackle, and Garner close to a first down. Pickup of 9. Darrell Morrison finally brings him down. Native of Falls Church, Virginia, so coming home today.
Yeah, he said he couldn't get all the tickets he needed. He said his teammates were holding out on him. Where the heck are all the tickets that he needed? And you could see the reason why. I mean, look what he's done. He went to 148 the last 4 games, 4-2 rush. Believe me, the offensive line is not a great offensive line. It's good. It's gotten better with Garner and because of Garner.
2nd down and 1, and maybe Herschel Walker, who's been the up back as well. Here's a play fake on 2nd and 1. Cunningham can't find a receiver and runs for the first down and gets out of bounds. That's the dimension that Randall Cunningham brings to this game.
Yeah, and he might need it, especially when he's going to get pressure. Watch inside Lester Holmes, 73, working with that club. He gets a hand up in his face. Now, you see, he went right to Lamar Mills, right up high, but he couldn't control. And because no control, he was able to flush. You're going to see him come right up inside. He's going to be able to flush Cunningham. Now watch Cunningham at the end. He knows he's on a defensive lineman, and he'll give the stop and then the go. And that allows him to pick up the first.
Split backs are Walker and Joseph for the Eagles on the Redskin 36. And the pass caught Mark Bavaro, the tight end, at the 30-yard line, a gain of 7, with Govea making the tackle. And limping off is Bavaro.
Yeah, he took something. He'll be right in the thigh. He's hobbling on out. Bavaro was really turned into one of Cunningham's favorite targets. With Freddie Barnett getting healthy again, he likes to look to him. You can see Bavaro now running a little better. But he likes his tight end.
And he'll be replaced by Maurice Johnson now. 2nd down and 3. And the give is to James Joseph, and he has stopped short of the first down by about 1.5 yards. Pickup of 2 that time. Tyrone Stowe right in the middle.
And Kurt Govea right in the middle. They brought in Tyrone Stowe because they needed a physical guy, number 90. And you can see how his helmet sits up high on his head. You know, the reason for that is there's 2 air bladders right inside your helmet. They're right up top. Well, most of the time you have to pump them up with a hand pump. He puts so much air pressure in his helmet that they have to put it up with one of the ball pumps, one of those electric things. So they put about 25, 30 pounds of pressure in that thing.
It's like blowing up a football. Short by 1 yard, and timeout called by the Washington Redskins. And now with 8:11 remaining, 3rd down and 1. Mark Bavaro, who limped off the field moments ago, is back in there, and 2 tight ends for the Eagles coming up on 3rd down and 1 on the 27 of the Redskins.
The game of chess going on in the commercial break. The Eagles took their tight end out and switched back to the 4 wides, and now they came back, and everybody's running on and off the field.
Cunningham was in the shotgun before the timeout. And there is a whistle. And we may have usually what is ruled a false start against the offense. It apparently is against the Eagles.
False start, offense, prior to the snap.
That's a big penalty right here.
5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 6. We talked about, you can see that, most penalized team in the league. And that's a major concern. Every player we spoke with on the Philadelphia Eagle team, when we asked them where could they get better, they said the same thing. We can't be penalized as much. We're making too many stupid mistakes. And we have to be better in that department because we just kill our offense.
21 penalties against the Eagles in the last 2 weeks alone. So it's 3rd down and 6 on the Redskin 32. They spread the offense. Williams in motion. Cunningham having trouble finding a receiver, and the pass is knocked down. And well defensed by Tom Carter, who is right in front of the defender, Fred Barnett.
Well, Cunningham, when he starts to feel pressure, what he'll do is he'll roll to his right. He's most effective rolling to the right. Now, the Redskins knew that they had to get pressure from that side. They did not. That bought the time and allowed Barnett to get back, but a great job in the zone by Carter. See how Carter kept the position of the zone and was able to come back and make the play.
This will be a 49-yard attempt by Eddie Murray, who has not missed this year. And his kick is no good. Off to the right.
You just jinxed him.
Well, facts are facts, partner. He is now 9 for 10, but in his behalf, this is the first field goal that Murray has tried in the last 4 games. So Murray misses. And so once again, despite bad field position, the Redskin defense holds, and they'll have good field position after that miss.
Yeah, the first good field position they've had all day. Nice job by that Washington Redskin defense.
Think I jinxed him, huh?
Yeah, you gave him, doesn't it always seem like that when the guy comes up and says, he's not struck in out in the last 8 at-bats, strike 3.
Seems that way. First down on the Redskin 40-yard line. Still no score. And Ricky Irvins picks up a couple of yards.
The Byron Evans, the linebacker, number 56, is not a real physical at-the-point kind of guy. You can watch him on Big Ray Brown, 300 pounds, but that's a nice job. He sticks his face right in there. Now, Ray will move him out of there, but the Eagles were in an 8-man front, and you just got to take away that lane and allow everybody else to converge, which is what he's done.
Titus Winans has replaced Desmond Howard as a wide receiver on 2nd down and 7. Farrat's pass for Ellard, and he's got it. First down to the 30-yard line. So Gus Farrat with a 26-yard pass play, and it was Eric Allen and Greg Jackson defending.
Now this time they bring somebody underneath and they drop Fuller out. They have the zone. Ellard just working right in front of Eric Allen. And Gus Farrat sees the zone all the way, knows where the weakness is, finds that gray area with Ellard and makes a big completion.
Ellard had caught only 8 passes in the 3 previous games before last week when he went over 100 yards. And the Redskins threatening first down. Farrat dumps it off, trying to go to Irvins out of the backfield. He stayed in the pocket against good pressure by Byron Evans, who was out covering on the play.
Yeah, and another look by Bud Carson. And they're going to throw it at him early. And again, this is the 8-man front. I want you to watch the safety walked up late. Now you got 1, 2, 3 guys. That means 8 are right up here. Now watch the patience of Farrat in the pocket. See this? Lots of pressure. Knows where his protection is. Stands up in front.
Bud Carson has his pass defenders in there now. 3 wide receivers for the Redskins on 2nd and 10. And the give is to Irvins. Good hold off the right side. Ricky Irvins manages to hold on to the ball. And a gain of 5 yards. Greg Jackson the stop, and the Redskins on the move.
Yeah, and Greg Jackson, a major difference for the Philadelphia Eagles on their defense. In fact, both the safeties of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jackson and Zordich, are a big reason of why they're playing so well. Now, Jackson in Philadelphia had always been a two-deep guy, which means you just sit back there and you play that soft zone. Well, Carson recognized his talents, and he's really using them this year. He's bringing them up, puts them in man coverage, lets them come to the line of scrimmage. He lets them do a lot of things, and he's really responded well.
Rich Kotite said these are the best two safeties we've ever had in Philadelphia. 3rd down and 5, and the handoff to Ricky Irvins, and he has a first down. Inside the 20-yard line, close to the 15. A gain of 10. Rich Miano making the stop.
Nice blocks up front by that offensive line of the Washington Redskins. You can see they have overload to this side. They're going to come right back this way. Usually a trap inside. This time they just blow a major hole. Ray Brown just works, ran for outside, and just takes him, blows him right outside. Irvins comes right up inside.
First down on the 16-yard line. Brian Mitchell is the one back. Willard followed by McMillan. And here is Mitchell. And Mitchell gets a couple of yards. So right now the Redskins are in field goal range after Eddie Murray missed a 49-yard field goal the last time the Eagles had the ball.
Well, this is what I meant earlier in the game when I talked about the Redskins matching up well with this Eagle team. They're very familiar. That offensive line has been there before. They've played well together. They know the front. They know Bud Carson. They've seen him one other time before. So you get comfortable with what the defense is going to try to do to you and what you're trying to do to them.
Hey, Matt, the Redskins gave the Eagles a scare in Philadelphia. That was just 3 weeks ago. 2nd down and 7. The ball at the 13. Play fake, and Farrat looking to throw. And he's got Desmond Howard, and it's a touchdown for Washington. Well, they love Gus Farrat a little more right now than they did before, and they liked him a lot.
Yeah, and good reason why. Watch Farrat. He's going to be under pressure. Towns is going to work back inside and get the hit on him. And I got to tell you, Desmond Howard put a move on Eric Allen that just freed him wide open because of the time he's had it, threw the ball out there, touchdown.
3rd touchdown catch of the year by Howard, and Chip Lohmiller's kick is good. And the Washington Redskins have scored against Bud Carson's Eagle defense and lead 7-0.
Gus Farrat, we talked about him being confident and being calm and poised. You can't get to him. You can't rattle him. Look at how he stands in on that pocket. Knowing he's going to get hit, he saw him all the way. Townsend with the pressure right in his face, but he stayed right on that receiver, delivered the ball perfectly.
And Matt, how do you think Desmond Howard feels, who has been under fire for really not producing, being as a high draft pick as he was?
Well, he's got to be excited because now it's like a new clean slate again. You got another guy throwing a ball. And what happens sometimes, that receiver will get into a groove with a quarterback, and all of a sudden he becomes your guy. And so Howard has a shot to maybe become the guy with Gus Farrat.
So Farrat with his 3rd touchdown pass of his brief season thus far, and for Howard, his first TD catch since the 2nd week of the year against the Saints. 7 plays, 60 yards, and the Redskins move out in front. Redskins will kick off. Chip Lohmiller will be kicking it back deep. That's Herschel Walker. He has Vaughn Hebron with him. First kickoff return was 20 yards by Walker. Low kick. And Walker inside his 10. Great return by Herschel Walker. And it takes 4 Redskins to finally bring him down near midfield.
Now let's watch Desmond Howard, number 80, what he does to Eric Allen. Now you're going to watch him down here, and he's working on Eric Allen right here. And he's going to run down, and he's going to run that out, back out, to the corner. Now, the key, of course, is back here. He has the time. Breaks it in. Eric Allen takes the bite. He thought he was going to have an in move, and then Howard broke back outside, wide open, and a perfectly thrown ball.
That was a 43-yard kickoff return, however, by Herschel Walker. And once again, the Eagles have great field position as they start from midfield. And the give is to Charlie Garner, and he is nailed. It looks like the Redskins defense has caught the bug here, and no gain for Garner. That was Tony Woods.
Tony Woods has been the most, I would say, right here, he's played the best of the defensive line for this Washington Redskins team. Takes Antoine Davis, just throws him right outside, Broderick Thompson rather, and back inside on the tackle. Now, Woods has never been known as a real flashy guy, but very, very consistent. And he's been the most consistent defensive player, really, for the whole entire Redskin defense.
Second down and 10 for the Eagles. Cunningham's pass over the middle of James Joseph. And Joseph picks up about 7. Andre Collins defending on the play. Last time the Redskins won a game in the NFC East was a year ago, September, against the Dallas Cowboys. They have lost 11 in a row against division foes since then. Third down and 4 for Philadelphia. Penalty markers down. Referee today is Dick Hantak. With 2:54 remaining in the first quarter.
Ball start. Offense.
Another penalty against the Eagles.
To the snap. Still third down.
And they've been costly penalties that. Instead of 3rd and 1, it was 3rd and 6. Instead of 3rd and 4, it's now 3rd and 9.
And that's exactly what Kotite told us they couldn't have done. And they're doing that exact same thing. Isn't it amazing how you work on things each week? You say, you know, we can't have the dumb penalties. We can't have the stupid, late hits. And they go and do it. It's amazing.
3rd and 9 at the 49-yard line. Well, maybe that Monday night grueling game took a lot out of the Eagles, more than we know. Cunningham has time and going for Victor Bailey, overthrown, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the Eagles are out of sync right now. Philadelphia Eagle passing game is out of sync. It's a passing game that's usually on timing and getting it off quick, and right now they don't have that timing.
Cunningham is 2 for 8 for only 13 yards, and Brian Barker will punt for the 3rd time. Brian Mitchell back deep. Fair catch by Mitchell on the 14. I'll tell you one thing, the Eagles could not ask for better field position than they've had so far. But right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio. JB?
Hey, Dick, I know it's early, but Cincinnati has something to cheer about. Third-string quarterback Jeff Blake, a 67-yarder right on the mark to Darnay Scott, and the Bengals are leading the Cowboys 7-0 late in the first. We take you back to Washington, and it is Dick Stockton and Matt Millen.
All right, JB, I'll tell you, that's going to give that capacity crowd something to cheer about.
They should take a picture because it's not going to last long.
Oh, you're a wet blanket for those people.
Sorry. What do you want me to tell you?
You know what? You're right. 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. 2 tight ends and Brian Mitchell. And he gets the call. There's a flag down as Mitchell brings it out close to the 20-yard line. Fuller on the stop, but a penalty. And once again, it's against the Eagles. That's their 3rd penalty today.
That'll bring up a 1st and 5. Now, this last running try, the Redskins went right at the heart of the Eagle defense inside.
Offside. Defense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
That's William Thomas who is offsides. So far, Randall Cunningham has struggled. 2 for 8. Farrat 3 for 7 with 45 yards and a touchdown pass.
Well, I mean, obviously it's early and the numbers are going to change, but what the Redskins needed was a quick start from Farad. It looks like they've got that.
First down and 5 at the 20. And the give is to Mitchell. 2-yard gain for Mitchell. Right now, the Redskins, as far as their tight ends, are using James Jenkins and Ray Brown.
And James Jenkins, number 88, has been a big plus for the Redskin running game. Now, they didn't bring him here to catch a lot of passes. Last week, he caught 2 touchdowns, but he's the best blocking tight end they have on the roster, and he's really made a difference because where they lost Donnie Warren a couple years ago, he's come in and he's given them some physical at the point of attack in the running game.
Jenkins and Cedric Smith, the fullback, have been a big reason for the Redskins' success running. And here's an example why, as Irvins gets the first down up to the 30-yard line.
Again, remember, first down when they had the penalty there, and right at the heart of the Eagle defense, I was starting to say, that's at Harmon and Perry right up the middle. And that's good news for the Redskins. You watch the tape. Up comes Evans. Nice block there by Cedric Smith. That allows Irvins to come back inside. Everybody on a man. Nobody losing their block, staying with them. That's what the Redskins need.
There is the fridge. William Perry, who has handled the running game pretty solidly for the Eagles this year. First down now on the 30-yard line. Play fake, and Farad is going to go deep. He's got Titus Winans. And he had it and couldn't hold on to it. He had beaten his defender, Mark McMillan.
That, incidentally, nice coverage, a beautifully thrown ball by Farad, and a nice test has been passed by Farad. Here comes the blitz inside. He had the time. The offensive line knew where he wanted to go with the football. Just inches away.
And it's rare that you see a ovation for a quarterback who throws an incomplete pass, but the fans here who know their football know what that meant.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, that wasn't inches away. That should have been a completion. Titus Winans should have made that catch.
2nd and 10 now at the 30. And the clock winds down, and we're going to have a delay of the game penalty against the Redskins.
Delay, offense, number 12, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Now, in the previous play, why this was such a good job, Eric Allen on Henry Ellard man for man. Now, this is the guy that Farad wants to get to, but you can see he's covered all the way, so he makes the adjustment on the fly, which is so impressive, and throws it down to Titus Winans.
They want to stay away from Allen, and that's why they've gone to Howard and Winans after the early surge to Ellard. 47 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Irvins.
That could be big.
Breaks a tackle from Jackson. And a big game for Ricky Irvins. Eric Allen runs him out of bounds. And a pickup that time of 23 yards.
A nice job again by Farad changing the play at the line of scrimmage. And you're going to see the reason why. Watch everybody walk up. You can see all these guys are going to bring the house. They're going to have everybody. You're going to end up having, at the end, a 9-man front. See all these guys? You got 9 men inside. Everybody else is covered. And then they just get to that corner, and Irvins picks up a big first down.
And Greg Jackson missed a tackle in the backfield. So Ricky Irvins with a big gain, and the clock is going to wind down. And then the first quarter that has been dominated by the Redskins. And that is the end of the first quarter with the score, the Redskins 7 and the Eagles 0. The Redskins lead the Eagles 7-0. Coming into this game, the Redskins average under 3 yards a rush. Today, 6.5. And Ricky Irvins has 50 yards on 6 carries. First down on the 49-yard line. And Irvins up the middle. Gets into Eagle territory where Fuller is there. But right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Dick, Matt said that 7-0 Bengals score wouldn't hold up on the Cowboys. He's right. Guess what? It's 14-0. Look at Jeff Blake, 6th-round quarterback out of East Carolina in '92. Finds his guy, Darnay Scott. 14-0 Bengals. Back to Washington. Dick and Matt.
Just like I said, take a picture. It wasn't going to...
Take 2 pictures. Take 2 pictures. I don't believe that one. 2nd and 7 for the Redskins. Farad to throw. And pass tipped He was open downfield, was Desmond Howard. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
I'll tell you what's happening right now. The Philadelphia Eagles are throwing all the blitzes. They're giving them 8-man fronts. They're playing zone and bringing people. They're dropping linemen out. And Farrat's handled it all. The offensive line has handled it all. So what that does now, it says to the Eagles, we can handle what you can throw at us. You can keep on coming at us, but we're going to get a play on you. And when that happens, it puts the Eagles on their heels, and the advantage goes now to the Redskins.
Leonard Renfro has replaced William Perry at right tackle on the passing down. And the clock was running down, and Farrat wisely called timeout. So that is the 2nd timeout by the Redskins in this first half. Recognize any of them, Matt?
Yeah, you know, normally you'd say a holiday weekend. These guys just got dressed up for Halloween. The sad part is that they do that all the time. Holy smokes. I'd like to introduce you to my husband, the pig. A pig nose. They are a pig nose.
3rd down and 7 after the timeout by the Redskins. And the pass is caught. That was Henry Ellard. And a 1st down to the 31-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know, we talk about protection for Farrat. Here's the reason why. Watch Townsend up top. He gets inside. Now watch the adjustment from the interior of the line. You have a free guy. Turn around. There it is. Giesick comes back inside helping his buddies. That gives him the time to find this guy wide open.
And sooner or later, you're going to find Ellard. But I'll tell you, the running game has really worked well for the Redskins. The Eagles defense giving up only 65 yards twice this year. And the Redskins are right about that mark. Here is Mitchell to the 30-yard line. And a gain of 1 yard.
Well, Dick, that goes with what we were just talking about. We're talking about having the Eagles on their heels. When you start throwing all those different looks. A lot is said about the quarterback seeing everything and making the adjustment. But not enough is talked about, as you can see, total yards, of the offensive line making the adjustment. You can call things all you want. If those guys up front don't get it, nothing's going to happen. They're doing an outstanding job today, that offensive line for the Redskins.
2nd down and 9 on the Eagles 30. And the slant pattern only intercepted, and that time McMillan had the better position on that pass, which was intended for Brian Mitchell, and he's shaken up.
Yeah, he's down. He'll pop right up. That's a tough guy.
It's a pop-up guy.
Yeah, he's a popper-upper. But you know what he does very well is he reads patterns. Now, sometimes that gets him in trouble. Remember in New York, we had him. He read the pattern. He took the bite, and that ended up 6 points the other way. But McMillan will study. He'll get everybody down. And once you show a tendency and it pops up in a game, he's right on top of it. That time, he had that tendency, almost had a pick.
4 wide receivers for the Redskins on 3rd and 9. This is the 10th play of the drive, and trapped behind the line, and a late flag thrown as Ricky Irvins carried the ball, and William Fuller got a hold of his foot. But there's a penalty. So far, they've all been against the Eagles. And guess what? Another one. They have too many men on the field.
Well, you can't call delay a game against the defense. So it'd have to be too many guys out there.
Dick Hantak.
12 men on the field for the defense. 5-yard penalty.
9,
Repeat
10,
the down.
11,
3rd
12.
down.
They got 12 guys out there. It's one too many. Every now and then, you could sneak a guy out there and they don't notice. But, you know, Bud Carson's thrown all kinds of looks. He even went with the 12-man front. It didn't work.
Look at the penalties. The Eagles 4 for 20. The Redskins have been hit only once. 3rd down and 4.
And it's when they've gotten those penalties, though, the Eagles.
And here's Ricky Irvins. Great acceleration and a 1st down inside the 20-yard line. William Thomas on the stop and a gain of 7. Well, what a spark is Irvins giving this team on the ground.
And Irvins, just all he's doing is just following the big offensive line up front. Watch Big Ray Brown coming to trap. Ed Simmons just getting a crushing block along with McKenzie. That just opens the whole right side. And that's a beautiful picture for a running back as well as our viewers at home. Hey, it makes you think that you're the running back coming through there.
Hey, the Redskins are on a roll here. They have the momentum. They've been in sync, and they have the Eagles playing on their heels. first down on the 18. On the draw play, Irvin looking for running room. And it clogs up in a hurry. Andy Harmon with William Thomas, and a gain of only 3.
We talked about the tight ends blocking. The other guy they brought in is Ethan Horton, number 89. You watch, he takes him, and he's just on Romanowski. Now, Romanowski misread that. And he's so mad at himself, he just stepped on Horton when he went by. See, Romanowski came out, read it as a pass, started to get a drop, and then here comes Horton, got right in his face. Then by the time he threw him, the ball was away. So he just step on him, you know, make him know that you made a mistake.
Why not? Redskins have struggled in the red zone. Let's see what they do here. And the fade pattern incomplete. Going for Desmond Howard again, and McMillan was defending.
I know something what happens. Desmond Howard has been getting dogged down here by the press. You know, he's a bust. The guy can't play. He's not what we thought he was. He's paid too much money. He's really disappeared. He's only had
second half
2 catches in the second half of the game. But a new guy comes in, and all that baggage gets thrown out. It really doesn't make a difference. All the rookie quarterback's saying is get open. If you're open, I'm going to throw it to you. And if you get open enough and get enough catches, all of a sudden you become the guy. And then all that stuff starts all over again, and Desmond Howard can be what they expected him to be.
Could be a new life for Barat and a new life for Desmond Howard as well. The Redskins have called a timeout, and they are now out of timeouts early here in the second quarter. Out with that much time, 11:09 remaining in the first half.
That's not a good job right there. In 11 minutes, you got to have at least save one for that 2-minute. You never know what the heck's going to happen. You may need it. Chances are you're going to need it.
13th play of the drive, and so far it's been equally balanced. Barat's pass caught, touchdown, Redskins, and that is Ethan Horton. Boy, did he drill that one.
Can't say enough about the offensive line of the Washington Redskins. Watch Horton come down. He's going to work this. He's going to right past the tight end, working on that safety. No help inside. Miano has to do it by himself, and that's a touchdown. And he could do that because he had lots of time from the offensive line.
Second touchdown catch of the year for the former tight end from the Raiders, and Gus Barat continues to wow him in Washington. And Chip Lohmiller's extra point is good. And the Washington Redskins have taken this whole crowd and game away from the Philadelphia Eagles. They're loving it, 14-0. 14-0 lead over the Philadelphia Eagles. And today's Aflac trivia question is, who was the last Redskin rookie quarterback to win his first 2 starts? That is our Aflac NFL trivia question today. And Gus Barat from Fort Cliff, Pennsylvania. There are his parents, Gus Sr. and Pat. The parents enjoying. Look at the smile on Mom's face. Lohmiller kicking off for the Redskins. Walker and Hebron, and it's going to be Vaughn Hebron returning for the Eagles. And dropped at the 26.
Let's take a look at what happened on that touchdown. There was some confusion in the secondary of the Philadelphia Eagles. Watch over here. See, they're looking back to the safety to say, what the heck is going on? And they're responsible for these guys. And then the ball snapped right before. You see him directing back there. Now watch what happens. They draw this guy out, and that opens the center of the field wide open. Miano cannot cover all this. Too much field to work with, too much time. Barat finds him at 6 points. And see, they're talking right now about what the heck went on back there.
First down on the 26. Hebron and Walker are the backs. And it's going to be Vaughn Hebron. Runs right into Ken Harvey. And Tyrone Stowe as well in a small gain. And right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio. Not another touchdown, JB.
Hey, Dick, tell Matt, Dallas is starting to play a little mad right now. Troy Aikman throwing to the former SEC high jump champion Alvin Harper. Dallas is on the scoreboard, trailing Cincinnati 14-7. That in a second. Back to Washington. Dick and Matt.
Hope you took those 2 photos of the Cincinnati scores, right? Barat's Redskins lead, and now the Eagles have 2nd and 10 on their 26. Cunningham swings it out to Herschel Walker. Walker close to a first down. And making the play was Andre Collins downfield.
You know, the more I've watched Herschel Walker through his career, the more impressed I've gotten. I mean, you ask him to do anything, he does it. He lines up as a wide receiver. He'll be a fullback. He's a tailback. He'll motion. He'll be the H-back. Special teams guy. The guy does absolutely everything, and he does it very well. In fact, remember he told us if you give him an opportunity, he'd love to play defense. He says he could be the best safety in the league.
Wouldn't doubt it. 3rd down and 1. And the pitch to Charlie Garner. And Garner will have the first down up to the 40-yard line.
And you see who he followed right there? Number 34, Herschel Walker. Well, Herschel's not a devastating blocker, but he's very, very effective. You're going to watch him, number 34, come right out inside. All Garner has to do is just break off of his block. See the safety come up, boom, just gets a body on him. Doesn't have to knock him out, doesn't have to bowl him backwards. Just stay on him, and that allows Garner to go inside.
Last week against Houston, they took a poke at him, and then Walker got mad, carried 7 times in a row in the 4th quarter, and used up a lot of clock for the Eagles. First down on the 40. Cunningham trying to bring the Eagles back. His pass out of the backfield to Walker, and he is wrestled out of bounds by Harvey. So right now, we've been talking about him. Let's take a look at the Millen file and what you have on Herschel Walker.
Well, I think the first one's self-explanatory. I think Herschel Walker is the most versatile player in the league. Not offense, not defense, everybody. And the guy at 32, he's not lost a step. Can still fly. Got to be honest with you, this guy is the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. For some reason, he just becomes like Trini and Kimberly and all those other Power Rangers, and he morph sizes or whatever they do. He's unbelievable.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm sure a lot of people
my kids do.
2nd and 7, and Garner is hit at the line of scrimmage. What an aroused Eagle defense led by Tyrone Stowe.
Yeah, he got all that air pumped up in his helmet. And then he goes up there and he lays that head right on you. You know, the funny thing about him, they wanted him to call the signals. But because he put so much air pressure in that helmet, he has to push his helmet all the way down and then snap the straps up. He can't move his jaw to call the signals.
3rd down and 8.
See, he can't unsnap it on the sideline. He won't get that thing back on.
Is he going to lift off?
He may.
Cunningham again through the air, and the pass incomplete. Herschel Walker was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, remember the first time these two teams met, Ken Harvey was a major factor. They couldn't really block him. This week they said we're going to double him. So the rookie, Bernard Williams, will get those hands on him. And if he gets by him, Joseph goes to put the headbutt right on him. Very effective. Keep him out. And that allowed Cunningham to have some time. But right now, Eagles' passing game is out of sync.
Brian Barker will kick. And Mitchell has the kick going over toward the sideline. Caught by Mitchell and out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Al Jackson on the play. 37-yard kick. So the Redskins get the ball again. They have thoroughly dominated this game.
Number 26 working on 28, Darrell Green. And listen to the collision at the end. I love that. You know, special teams we've talked about so many times. Such a major part of every single game, and so many times it's overlooked. But Darrell Green never overlooks it. And I'm going to tell you this, when the Redskins are in a big game and he's back returning punch, that's when you know it's a big game.
Redskins first down on their 25 with 7:37 remaining in the first half. And Ricky Irvins for no gain on the play, Andy Harmon. Well, our Aflac trivia answer question was, who was the other Redskin quarterback, or the only one to win his first 2 starts? Jim Ewell won his first 2 as a Redskin rookie quarterback back in 1946, and that man, Gus Farrat, could do it today. 2nd down and 9 at the 26-yard line. Farrat stays in the pocket, goes down and manages to hold on to the ball. Andy Harmon broke down the pocket and a loss of 8 yards, and that is the first sack.
I think he lost the ball. He did lose the ball.
Fumble.
It looked like he lost it right at the end. It dropped to his knees, and they never called anything. And then Andy Harmon was at the bottom like a gopher trying to get that acorn there, a squirrel rather, and then he got it.
Not only the first sack, but a turnover all of a sudden gives the Eagles life here.
And now watch at the end. He stands in the pocket, and watch at the very end, the ball will come loose. He's standing in there. Here comes Harmon, gets the hit. Now watch the ball. See how it popped out? Right when Fridge popped on him, the ball came out, and then Harmon scurrying to get that thing. It's a great shot right here. There's the one hit. Now here comes Fridge over the top. See, a ball came loose actually before Fridge got there. That's a fumble, and that's a first down for the Eagles on this 18-yard line.
You talked at the beginning of the broadcast about how mistakes could really hurt the Redskins, and a big one here. The Eagles have it on the Washington 18. Trailing the Skins 14-0. And some Charlie Garner finds running room off to the left and gets inside the 15, and Martin Bayless quickly brings him down. Redskin turnovers. They were a plus 18 in turnover differential back in their Super Bowl year, but look how it's changed. They were all even last year, but a minus 13 and last in the NFL coming into this game.
Three new quarterbacks, Freeze, Schuler, and Farad. That stuff's going to happen. Now you have to get that turned around.
Second down and 5. This is the best Eagle opportunity of the game. Garner. And good pursuit by the Redskins, led by Tyrone Stowe. He's had an active game at linebacker today.
And he's a hitter. That guy's a sticker. And he's also, at this, got to be a reader. Now, this formation will give away where they're going to run the football. All you do is you got to find the fullback, Herschel Walker. He's in there to block. This guy, Garner's not blocking anybody. So you'll watch where Walker's going, and he generally will take it to the football. And you can see Tyrone just get that big body on him and stuff it.
Third down and 3. Garner is out. 2 tight ends for the Eagles. Cunningham swings it out to Walker. First down for Herschel Walker, and he goes in.
Beautiful job by Herschel Walker. And a great job by Fred Barnett.
A mistake by the Redskins after they had built up a 14-0 lead and had the momentum in their favor, blunted now as the Eagles score.
Watch Freddie Barnett. You know, he's responsible for the man who's taking Herschel Walker, and that man is 57, Ken Harvey. And then watch the end. He just runs over Morrison. You know, you forget how strong a man Herschel Walker is. He just dropped that shoulder. Touchdown.
Eddie Murray is on to kick the extra point. Brian Barker holding. And the kick is good. The Eagles capitalize on the fumble by Farad. And it is now 14-7 in favor of the Redskins. And Farad, an unhappy lad. Down as a receiver this year, capping a 3-play 18-yard drive following the turnover. Now it'll be interesting to see how the Redskins respond. Mitchell on the left, and William Bell, the up back.
And remember, last time Mitchell gashed the Eagles in punt and kickoff returns.
Kickoff. Mitchell on the 4-yard line. But the Eagles converge. And Mitchell is down outside the 15 by Rich Miano. Well, next week on Fox NFL Sunday, these are the early games as the 49ers come here to face Farad and the Redskins. And then at 4 o'clock, some of you will see Arizona and Philadelphia. That means Buddy Ryan, Clyde Simmons, Seth Joyner going back home against Kotite and the Eagles.
And that one's going to be a lot of fun. Don't think that the Philadelphia Eagles haven't thought about that one already. In fact, last night, Richie Kotite couldn't help himself, and it already came out talking about that big game.
Said it's going to be a Barnum and Bailey game.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, but they got to get by this one first, and Farrad's got a hot hand.
First down on the 17, and Irvins is hit by the Fridge. And now the turnover in the score has given the Eagles defense impetus.
Yeah, and William Perry, that's a lot of impetus to give. You see him talking to Ray Brown. He ain't backing down. I got to be honest with you. William Perry is playing as well as I've seen him play. I think he came in last year at the halfway mark. He didn't even know what the heck he could do. Then they found he's been physical. See him jawing right there? They got a battle going on down there.
Second down and 12. Back on the 15. Farad's pass to Cedric Smith. Cedric Smith with a big gain gets the Redskins out of trouble as Farrat threw the ball over Byron Evans' arm, and a gain of 28.
Got matched up man-to-man with Byron Evans, the middle backer. You're going to watch him come out. He's at the fullback position. Come through now. Evans will slide through, just a delay. Run away from the coverage. Mistake number one. Evans looked back at the quarterback. Then mistake number two, he lost the fullback foot race to Cedric.
Cedric Smith, who was drafted by the Vikings, used to be a blocking back for Emmitt Smith at Florida. 1st and 10 at the 43. A rollout by Farrat, and the pass is intercepted by McMillan. And McMillan makes the interception just before Townsend nearly got to Farrat.
Well, remember we talked about, you see Mitchell getting on him. Then we talked about McMillan being patient and reading the pattern. He's reading the same thing that Farrat is reading. First, watch Townsend, going to get pressure. Now, Farrat should feel this. He takes the high road. He beats both Irvins and Lachey. Boom, for the shot. Now, on the other side, McMillan is reading the same guys that Farrat's reading. See, he's looking at number 2, but feels number 1. Cuts back in front of Winans, and then back inside to Ellard. Very nicely done.
Second interception for McMillan, and now the Eagles on a first down on their 49. Garner is split wide to the right, and the pass to Garner. He's wide open, and he goes out of bounds after picking up another Eagle first down inside the 40, a gain of 12 yards.
So what do you do if you're out of sync, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles and Randall Cunningham? Go back to high percentage. Start hitting the stuff out in the flats. Hit your fullback, hit your halfback out there. Have Barnett do a little hitch, couple of curls, nothing deep, don't push it down the field. Try to get the rhythm back to the offense.
3.5 minutes remaining in the half. Cunningham's number so far, and his TD pass was to Herschel Walker. First down on the 39, and the pass intended for Bavaro, and he caught the ball. He was sandwiched between Govea as well as Bayless, and a good play by Bavaro.
And a great throw by Cunningham. I mean, that ball was the only place it could be, as he risked an interception throwing between two guys in that zone. And credit Bavaro for coming down with it.
Remember, the Redskins have no more timeouts. Eagles have all 3 of theirs. Second down and 6. Here's Charlie Garner. And Harvey nearly got him for a loss of 1. Tyrone Stowe ends up making the play.
Did you see what happened right there? You could hear it right before the ball was snapped. Kurt Govea and Tyrone Stowe are going lag draw, lag draw, lag draw. Ball was snapped. The linebacker was in the hole before the fullback got there, which meant that Garner had to bounce it all the way outside. Watch Govea. You can see him yelling right at the top of your screen. The ball snapped. Right up inside. See that? Now that forced him back outside. It's good defense. Good keys.
Third down and 4. Harvey puts pressure on Cunningham. Here's James Joseph. And Joseph fights his way for a first down inside the 30-yard line. And an injured player on the field as we wind down to the 2-minute warning. With 1:58 on the clock. And shaken up for the moment was Lamont Hollingquest. And he appears to be all right. 2 minutes in this first half. All the scores and highlights, plus we have already seen this year's best runs, hits, and catches. Now it's time to look at the most spectacular plays so far this season in a new edition of Choice Cuts. That's all coming up next on the Dockers Halftime.
Thank you, Howard. Appreciate that. Take out of that? You do a great Cosell. You do Cosell better than he does.
Randall Cunningham, 2 for 8 in the first quarter, but has missed only 1 pass. And has thrown a touchdown pass in the second quarter, but the turnovers really hurting the Redskins.
Yeah, they're hurting him, but those stats just bear me out of what I talked about earlier about the inconsistency with Cunningham. You know, and he's, like we said, when he's on, he's on. And right now he's on 6 of 7. He's got him on the 28-yard line driving. This is when he's at his best.
And a big test for the Redskins defense right here. Leading 14-7. First down. Joseph. And this time Ken Harvey grabs a hold of him and doesn't let go, and they get to the 25, a gain of only 3.
Nice by Harvey in the open field. That's a tough position to be in. You get a big old running back, Lester Holmes. I'm behind Lester Holmes, and Joseph really has people in front of you to make you miss, and Harvey makes Holmes miss and comes back and makes the play.
Harvey with 8.5 quarterback sacks coming into the ball game, and we have an injured Redskin, and it looks to be Shane Collins. Harvey, one of the important free agent pickups that the Redskins are proud of. Harvey is one, Henry Ellard is another amongst Charlie Casserly's signings during the offseason.
Harvey has really played well for them and given them a pass rush because they haven't had a pass rush. And the thing that amazes me about him is he's not a big guy. Like he's a kind of a little guy at around 232 pounds, and he should be bigger. You watch Collins 91 right there in the middle of your screen. See Broderick Thompson just, that looks cheap if you ask me, diving on a guy in the back of his knees like that. And I know Broderick's not that kind of a guy. There's no reason to be getting a guy from behind like that.
We'll take a break right now and return. 1:38 remaining in this second quarter. Game, the clock continues to run. Now it stops as the Eagles have used up their first timeout.
Well, Sterling Palmer read that trap inside very quickly. Came back inside. Here's another guy, second-year guy that they like what he has to do. Watch him inside. They're going to run this trap back inside. Watch him close it down, dips inside of the back of Walker's block and makes the play. There's Sterling Palmer. Good movement. Big man, 260 pounds. He needs to get a little bit bigger and play down inside. They like him down inside, but he doesn't have enough weight in his drawers down there.
Weight in his drawers.
Yeah, they need him to get to about 275 to be more effective as a tackle, but he has the speed still to play in.
Giants are leading Detroit 10-8, I think the score was, in a very important 3-4 game for both teams.
Cecil Fielder hit one in the top
Something
of the fourth.
Yeah, that's right. Charlie Garner has gained 30 yards on 10 carries thus far, so the Redskins have kept him quiet thus far. Remember, he gained 122 in their first meeting back on October the 9th. 3rd down and 7. Cunningham tipped incomplete, and the pass was intended for Maurice Johnson. And that will bring up 4th down, and Eddie Murray trots onto the field. So kudos to the Redskin defense in the light of a second straight turnover, avoiding the touchdown by the Eagles here. Murray already has missed a 49-yard field goal, his first miss of the year. This will be a 42-yard attempt. Barker is the holder. Kick is going to be short, and it hits the upright and bounces off. And Eddie Murray, who was perfect coming into this game, has missed 2 in a row, and the Redskins keep their 14-7 lead. Like Eddie Murray had made 19 straight field goals dating back to the end of last year before his 2 misses so far today.
Yeah, before you jinxed him way back in the first quarter. He was kicking up a storm.
You know, someone's going to tell him that, and he's going to believe that.
Well, in fairness to Eddie Murray, you know, they put him back outside the 40 both times, although he's good enough to make those kicks.
Redskins are out of timeouts. First down on their 33-yard line. Ricky Irvins with a carry. Picks up about 2 or 3 as we wind down to a minute remaining in the first half. Second down and 7. You wouldn't think the Redskins will try anything fancy here. Here is Ricky Irvins with a nifty bit of running up the middle and a cutback. Close to midfield and a first down for Washington. A gain of 10.
Yeah, the Redskins aren't getting fancy, but Ricky Irvins throws some of those fancy feet out there. Now you see Farad in hurry-up offense trying to get down to give Low Miller a shot, who also has been struggling.
They hurry up the offense. 1st and 10 on the 47. Farrat's going to throw, and the pass is caught. And it's Henry Ellard.
Boy, the kid's got poise. This kid, Farrat, really has a nice poise.
10 seconds remaining. One more play, and they may have a shot at a field goal, but it's going to be chancy right now. They stop the clock.
Boy, that could have been a fumble. He was lucky.
And there's a flag now.
You hear him yelling, that's a fumble. He never got that ball down. Hantak saying no way. But I might have to disagree. That ball snapped out of his hand after he took the snap. He never was able to throw it down. Watch him take the snap. He brings it up. That ball is a fumble. Hantak is wrong. That's a clear ball, and Harmon misses it.
Illegal touching. It was a forward pass. Hit number 69 on the offensive team. It is loss of down. 2nd down.
Boy, so it hit Mark Schlereth, the right guard.
Not only did he miss, and it's a fumble, but he's calling it again on Schlereth, 69. You tell me that this is a pass that hits this guy at all. Ball is up in the air. That's a fumble. Hantak is wrong.
And Lohmiller will come in to try a long field goal here with 3 seconds remaining. Lohmiller has struggled this year. He kicked well in Indianapolis indoors.
You see McMillan, Mark McMillan walked over to where Lohmiller was patting the ball down, or patting the ground down, and he started patting it in front of him and talking to him. I've never seen that before.
Well, gamesmanship.
This guy's a blast. This guy kills me. He's a blast. He's got some spunk to him.
John Freese, who is the 2nd quarterback, will hold a 54-yard attempt by Lohmiller, whose longest was 47 this year. A booming kick, and the kick is good. It hits the crossbar and goes over, and the Redskins get 3 as time runs down.
This is all that Lohmiller could give him, and it's all that they needed. Ball comes down, almost hits RoboVision, just misses him, bounces right back inside.
Murray missed, Lohmiller made it, and that's the end of the first half with the score. The Redskins 17, the Eagles 7. Stay tuned for the Dockers halftime as Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local station. The guy who brought the Redskins back to at least try and make that 54-yard field goal. So we're underway in the second half. Short kick by Murray, and it's taken down by Brian Mitchell. And Mitchell dives forward to the 39-yard line, and that's where the Redskins will take over. They've been protecting Farrat well in this first half.
Well, and that's a testament to the offensive line, but also you can see he was sacked one time and hurried once. Now he got knocked down 3 times. That's a testament to the offensive line and Farrat, because Farrat is getting rid of the ball fast. Now the thing that surprises me is, look right here. Under 10 yards, there's only 3 completions out of 10. And then down here, he's 4 out of 7. That's surprising. Usually with a young guy, you want to start hitting the underneath stuff to get him the confidence, but he's got confidence, it looks like, more down the field.
First play, Ricky Irvins, and the best starting field position for the Redskins. No gain as Fuller makes the stop. Irvins gained 76 yards on 13 carries in the first half. The Eagles had not given up more than 65 yards a game in rushing more than twice this year. So the running game is there, and Farrat's numbers 7 of 17 for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. Second down 10. Play fake. Farrat, Cedric Smith, and he's wrestled down by Byron Evans. They'll leave him short of a first down by about 5 or 6 yards.
Now this time Byron Evans isn't going to make the mistake and look back. Usually when you're matched up in man coverage, you just stay right on the man. You don't take your eyes off anything but him. Now here you just see him just break out of that and come up and get a good, nice hit. Evans is a guy, I'll tell you what separates him from the rest of the pack, his middle linebackers. He's got a great feel for pass coverage. He drops back in there and he sees everything the quarterback sees.
He was a star defensively Monday night against the Oilers. 3rd down and 6. Short drop by Farrat. The pass is intercepted. And that's going to be Greg Jackson down the sideline. Greg Jackson for the touchdown. 55 yards.
Derek Frazier did an outstanding job in the transition game of going from the defender to the offensive blocker, and he got Ricky Irvins and allowed Jackson to come up. Watch him sets up. Jackson just came right underneath. I think Byron Evans got his hand on that. Now watch Derek Frazier. He just heads Ricky Irvins off, slows him down just enough to allow Jackson to get into the end zone.
And that's the first time in his career that Greg Jackson has intercepted a pass and run it in for the touchdown. Eddie Murray for the extra point with Barker holding. And the kick is good, and it is now 17-14. Jackson's 4th interception of the year, 2nd against the Redskins. On their defense, Byron Evans, and then it was Greg Jackson with the interception, his 4th, and he leads the club. And the Philadelphia Eagles now have forced 3 turnovers and have capitalized on 2 of them for scores, and it is a 3-point Redskin lead. Murray kicking off, and it'll be Mitchell at the 10 on the return for the Redskins. Brian Mitchell wrestled down by Otis Smith from behind.
The interception was brought to you by Bud Carson's defense, giving another look to Gus Rutt. And you're going to see they show man, but they go all the way back out of a 2-deep look, so it looks like they're in zone. But he's responsible right there. Greg Jackson reads it from back and makes the break. And you can watch right here. Now this looks like zone all the way. Now he'll come up, picks that thing off, ends up 6 points.
Those are the kind of interceptions Dave Brown of the Giants has been throwing lately. Also a rookie, in essence. 1st and 10 on the 31. Ricky Irvins. And the Redskin lead now 3 points. A 4-yard gain by Irvins, who's over the 80 mark now. Bill Romanowski making the tackle.
I got to tell you right now, I think Norv Turner's calling a good football game. I think he's being patient with the run game. Remember, that's one of the things that he said he had to do. Stay with the run game. Don't give up on it. And they're having some success. And because that run game and Farad being successful, the offense is coming together. But you can't beat a turnover.
Irvins again fighting for yardage off the left side. They needed 6 yards for the first down, and will probably be shy by about 4 now. Again, Romanowski. The Eagles have scored 14 points out of Redskin turnovers. Bud Carson's defense will do that to you. Jackson, one of the 2 outstanding safeties, along with Zordich, to join the club. There is Miano and Otis Smith, the nickel and dime package for Philadelphia. 3rd down and 3 coming up. And they give it to Brian Mitchell, who breaks one to midfield, and a Redskin first down.
I talked about Norv Turner with calling that kind of a game. And I think sometimes quarterbacks get hot and running backs get hot. And then I think sometimes coaches get hot and they just get a feel. And right now, I think Norv Turner is hot. I think he's got a good sense of what's going on out there defensively, and it's translating in his play calling.
He's got 3 wide receivers, including Titus Winans, out at the top on first down. Here's Mitchell again. Maybe a yard for Mitchell, and it was Mark McMillan who forced from the secondary.
Talked about getting on a roll. And the Redskins running the football right now, they're really running the ball well. You can see they've only been averaging 72, and today in the 3rd quarter, they're at 105 yards. And going against a very good Eagle defense, I think number 3 in the National Football League.
And the Redskins getting back to their offense at Jim Hannafin's line, a big part of it. They've rushed for 100 yards only once this year before today, and that was against the Saints in week 2.
Go 20!
Up the middle again for Mitchell. They have found a good man and a good hole up the middle with Mitchell, short of the first down by a yard. Bill Romanowski there, a pickup of 8 yards.
Well, they're liking the center of that defense, which has been surprising, right at Harmon and Refrigerator Perry in there. But I think that's a testament to the offensive line. Giesick at center, Raleigh McKenzie. You see right there, Big Ed Simmons, 76. Now Mark Schlereth comes in at guard. Jim Lachey, left tackle. But Big Ray Brown, he's shaking up a little bit. He's been playing well today.
And Mark Schlereth replaces him at left guard. 3rd down and 1 on the 41 of the Eagles. And they go to Mitchell. And Mitchell should have the first down as the Redskins using up some time here in this quarter, keeping their defense off the field.
Well, and going back to Redskin football, you know, they've always been characterized by that big offensive line and blowing people off the ball, and they haven't been able to get that done because their makeup is not real physical and those inside 3 guys. But today they're getting it done.
Isn't it true if you have the running game going, other things fall into place?
Yeah, there's no question. You know, Madden always says that a quarterback's best friend is his running game.
First down on the 39 and a whistle.
They got Titus Winans jumping in the slot.
Redskins have not been penalized much today, but this will be a false start.
Number 83, prior to the snap,
Winans.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
See Titus Winans, you know, the guy's got braces, and he came in and he started talking to us, and I said, "What the heck, you got your braces? You got no wire on them." He said, "Yeah, I had these things put on way long ago in 7th grade. You can see," he said, "and I got sick of it, so I just pulled the wire off, and they've been on there ever since."
It's a long time, isn't it?
It's a long, long time. He said eventually he'll get them done. He'd like to get them finished up now.
Winans is one of those rookies that Farad could get to like as a wide receiver. 6 rushes, no passes on this drive by the Redskins, who have a 1st and 15 now. There again is Mitchell. And Greg Jackson is there to meet him after a pickup of about 5 yards.
And again, a pickup we talked about. Farad making the pickup, but also the offensive line and the running backs. And watch, these guys are going to come right up inside. And then they're picked up very nicely in a good pickup. Here comes the guard pulling around. And it's just a matter of executing. And they picked up, 5 yards there, bring up, 2nd and 11 or so.
That's exactly what it is, 2nd and 11.
Yeah, just a guess.
8:35 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Up the middle, and the pass is caught by Titus Winans. And Winans braces it all, gets a first down deep into Eagle territory, where Miano runs him out of bounds in a gain of 23.
Yeah, and nice transition at the end. Winans coming around, and you're going to find Howard, number 80, with a great block to give him just an extra 5 yards. Watch Howard come into your screen from the right side. You're going to see just get a nice bounce right there. Boink, you see that? Out of the way, and that gives him another 5 yards.
Winans caught one for 51 yards last week against the Colts, and it's a first down for the Redskins on the 17. Here is Mitchell. And Mitchell dives inside. Perry grabs a hold of him, and a gain of 5. Great bit of ball control here by the Redskins after Jackson returned Farad's interception for a touchdown, and the Redskins are winning the total yards battle by a wide margin.
And again, that goes back to Norv Turner. I think Norv's hot right now. I think he's got his finger on the pulse, and he's going with what is working obviously very well, the running game.
10th play of the drive. And nice catch is caught by Desmond Howard, who earlier had a touchdown reception, and that should be good for another first down.
Watch Desmond Howard. He's just going to run it out. Again, he's working on Eric Allen. So you drive him off. If the guy's going to give you a cushion, you expand the cushion and then break it underneath. And Farad with a nicely thrown ball, low and outside. Again, it's either a catch or it's incompletion.
He has been undaunted, Farad has. After that interception, he comes back firing. 1st and goal on the 6. They go to Mitchell, and Mitchell will be stopped for no gain. Romanowski and Fuller that time.
Well, now they've been going with that old counter OT about 3 times down here inside the 20. And what that does a lot of the time is it sets up that counter OT pass. And what happens, that's a long pass to develop. So you run the OT, and then you drag that tight end all the way to the back of the end zone.
Reggie Brooks who lost his job to Ricky Irvins and has had a rib cage injury, has come into the game for the first time on 2nd and goal. Mitchell is in motion. Farrat goes to Mitchell.
Threw it behind him.
And Mitchell started a run before he had the ball in addition.
Well, I mean, had Farrat thrown that ball where it should have been, that could have been a touchdown. Because he threw it behind him, and Mitchell was already in full gallop. And all he had to do was lay it out in front of him, and he had his chance to score.
Thirteenth play of the drive coming up, and there you see the extra backs for the Eagles. Titus Winans has come in as his extra receiver. 9 rushes, 3 passes. 3rd and goal. Quick toss, incomplete. They wanted to go to Howard, and Eric Allen was right there.
And so is the pressure on Farrat. And another test pass. So he's going to break it off inside. He knows he got pressure coming. And that could go either way. I like that, though. I mean, don't throw a flag. I like to see good, aggressive defense and let him play the game.
He's a pro bowler, so you got to give him a little benefit of the doubt. He played him well. So on 4th down, Chip Lohmiller, who ended the first half with a 54-yard field goal, will try this one from 23 yards out. John Freeze is the holder. And Lohmiller's kick is good, so maybe his confidence is coming back as well. And the Redskins now lead it 20-14. 15 carries, has a sprained left ankle, questionable as to whether he'll be back. But Brian Mitchell did a terrific job behind that fine offensive line to set up the field goal by Lohmiller.
Yeah, but this guy's got the hot hand right now, so you keep on feeding it to him.
Dallas and Cincinnati tied up. Rad, I know you're interested in that one.
Ooh, Buffalo all over Kansas City.
Lohmiller kicking off. Vaughn Hebron on the 5. Returns for the Eagles. And Hollingquist on the tackle. Redskins by 6. Take a look at Randall Cunningham's pass distribution, and it's going to surprise people.
Yeah, that's the biggest surprise right here. You got a healthy Fred Barnett and a big play Calvin Williams. No catches and no yards. The majority of everything going to the running backs.
Walker and Joseph have caught 3 apiece. Bavaro 2. First down Eagles on their 25. 2 tight ends. And the give is to Vaughn Hebron. Good gain by Hebron to the 31-yard line. A gain of 6.
The offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles have been doing a pretty good job today. I think that, with Garner, they're blocking well up front in the run game. And then they haven't given up a sack, and there really hasn't been that much pressure on Cunningham. I think right now those front 5 guys are in sync. They're playing well.
And that includes Holmes and Thompson, who have been banged up. 2nd down and 4. Cunningham. And there's a wide receiver, Fred Barnett, making his first catch of the game. Tom Carter with him all the way.
Hey, good time there. Now, remember we checked in with Lester Holmes at the beginning of the game. Watch him right down here, number 73. He's got that big old cast. See that? Boom. See what he's doing right now? If I were Lester Holmes, instead of using a forearm, I would start using that as a club and start pounding people in on the ribs. And then Tom Carter is the guy the Eagles wanted to work on. They wanted to get Barnett matched up on him. And it's ironic that here with 5 minutes left to go, it's the first reception that he's had.
Cunningham to Maurice Johnson. And Johnson will carry a load of people. Picks up about 8 yards on the play. Eagles looking to finish the first half of their schedule 6-2. Pretty good start for them this year.
Let's look back inside with old Lester Holmes with that cast. See how he's using his forearm? There you go. Yeah, just get that thing. You just start battling. That's what you got to do. You got to use it as a weapon. It's padded. It ain't hurting anybody. Just start flopping that thing around.
Looks like a weapon. 2nd down and 2. And here's Vaughn Hebron, and a great play by Sterling Palmer from behind prevents Hebron from getting the necessary yardage in the first down. Sterling Palmer. Well, they only come out at night, and they drink human blood.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, FBI agent Fox Mulder never believed in vampires. But this Friday, he'll be seduced by one on a brand new episode of The X-Files, Friday at 9, 8 Central, after an all-new Mantis. 3rd down and 1 for the Eagles. Shy of midfield, and the pitch goes to Charlie Garner, and he dives for the first down into Redskin territory, where Tyrone Stowe trips him up.
That's a good football player, that Charlie Garner. You know, he must have great vision, and he's very decisive. Once he sees that hole, he knows it's going to close fast, so he busts right through the middle of that thing. And with a back like Garner, your offensive line doesn't have to give a big hole. All it has to do is get body on body, and he'll make the difference.
Playing with bad ribs, bruised thigh, but he's hanging in there. Garner with 34 yards rushing, first down on the Redskin 48-yard line. Gets the call again, this time off the left side, and he is knocked away.
Boy, the left side of the offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles just buried the right defensive side of the Redskins. I mean, they just took him and they just blew him right off the ball. Watch these guys right up here. Just going to take Sterling Palmer in that hole and just crush them all. Bernard Williams just put Palmer on his back, and then a nice block right out there by Maurice Johnson opened the whole corner.
2nd down and 7 on the 35 of the Redskins. Herschel Walker goes in motion right. Flag is down. Cunningham can't find a receiver and goes deep for Bavaro. Double covered, and the pass almost intercepted. Darrell Green was back there along with Martin Bayless, and they nearly picked it off.
Darrell Green should have had a pick. Now there's a flag down. We're going to see what it was. But Cunningham put way too much air on that ball because Bavaro had about 5 steps to the back of that zone.
It's against the Redskins, offsides.
Offside. Defense number 91 lining up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
Remember, Shane Collins was shaken up before, but he appears all right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can see him right there. I mean, he's already in the neutral zone.
2nd down and 2 after the penalty.
Run, Chief! This way, Chief! This way, Chief!
James Joseph. He's a hard runner. Picks up the first down to the 35-yard line and a gain of 5. And right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studios. James.
All right, Dick, in the Meadowlands, Dave Brown making a mistake here, dropping back, looking at the receiver all the way, slant pattern. Mike Johnson picks him off. Johnson heads to the end zone, and the Lions are leading the Giants 18-10. That in the 3rd. Young Dave Brown, 10 interceptions in the last 5 games, Dick.
That's the wrong kind of consistency.
Similar to the interception thrown by Farrat. No one's comparing those two right now. Farrat in the lead. First down on the 35. Cunningham with time overthrows Calvin Williams, and he was watched all the way by Darrell Green.
Green was all over him. Very nice coverage. Darrell Green, it's interesting because Darrell Green right now, you can see he takes him in motion. It's man all the way. Darrell Green does not get mentioned with the great corners in the league anymore, and I think it's because their team is not winning, because Darrell Green is playing at that high level. He's playing as good as any corner out there.
Green, Harvey, and Woods have been the best defensive players for the Redskins thus far. Calvin Williams has yet to catch a pass. 2nd down and 10 Eagles. Victor Bailey in there. And the screen pass to Joseph with blockers in front. And James Joseph picks up a first down for the Eagles inside the 15-yard line, and Harvey chased him downfield, and a big gain of 18.
Nice call by Zeke Bratkowski of the Eagles, and very well executed. Watch how they're going to fake to the one side. Watch him come out, and he's going to fake over there. See how everybody starts to flow? Now he comes back. Now you have to redirect. Now you're redirecting, and you got 2 offensive linemen out in front of you, and they just take him for a ride. That's a nice big gain. Great call. There's Zeke Bratkowski.
Anton Davis ahead blocking on that last play. 10th play of the drive here. First down on the Redskins 17. And the clock running down, and the Eagles have called their first timeout of the second half with 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Tonight's top story.
Offensive line back. They'll be against the Redskins, New Orleans, Minnesota, and the other games. And then Buddy Ryan comes back home to Philly against the Eagles next Sunday at 4. That's going to be a wild week of comments, I'm sure. But Rich Kotite said he thinks Buddy Ryan's going to low-key it most of the week, but I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, well, all the week's words won't mean a bit until they get to that game. That's going to be a humdinger.
1st and 10 on the 17-yard line. And the pitch to James Joseph on the option play. Looked like he was going to start to throw, and then was knocked out of bounds by Ken Harvey. No one downfield.
That's exactly what that was going to be. That was going to be an option pass. I got something to confess. In between, you're watching him come across. He's looking for him to come across over in here. In between the plays, I was looking at Kotite. Kotite said option pass. Here's where he's trying to get to. And down here. It's not there, so he decides to run it. Good coverage.
Second down and 7. Cunningham gets hit as he throws, and the pass is caught by Herschel Walker, and he gets to the 1-yard line as time runs out in the third quarter. It'll be a Philadelphia first down. Big throw by Cunningham, and he thread the needle to Herschel Walker at the 1. And that is the end of the third quarter with the score. The Redskins 20, the Eagles 14. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station.
Same pattern, and he tries to throw it, I think, to Bavaro, but Walker comes up with the catch.
First and goal at the 1-yard line. Eagles threaten to score, and here is Herschel Walker. Touchdown, Eagles. On the first play of the fourth quarter, the Eagles have tied it up. And with a successful point after by Eddie Murray, can take their first lead of this game.
Well, that was pure power by the Power Ranger, Herschel Walker. But he got hit right in the backfield by Mark Boutte. That's a big man. He just dipped that shoulder, kept the feet going, and goes right in. Watch Boutte come through, and watch Walker right here. Look at the shoulder. Boink, right there. And then just powers way into the end zone.
Eddie Murray with Barker holding, and the kick is good, and the Eagles lead it for the first time today, 21-20. Herschel Walker with his second touchdown of the day. Shots any better than our Fox cameras and our cameraman, and we want to thank our fine Fox Sports technical crew led by Tim Abhold, our technical director Jim Warden, and our audio supervisor Fred Aldis. Also special thanks to all our camera, tape, and graphics personnel for a job well done as usual.
Now you look at that RoboVision and you wonder if the ball hits it, what happens? Well, the RoboVision is behind the plane of the goalpost, and if it goes through and hits it, it's good.
It's a ground rule here. Here's the kickoff by Murray.
Ground rule double, yeah.
Brian Mitchell on the return for the Redskins, who trail for the first time, and Mitchell brings it out beyond the 30-yard line. Well, detectives Williams and Torres take their jobs very seriously, but when a 2-year-old boy is abducted, they take it personally. Catch a brand new episode of New York Undercover this Thursday after Martin and Living Single on Fox. Philadelphia Eagles trying to make it 5 in a row over the Washington Redskins. As you look at the score by quarters, the Eagles have outscored the Skins 14-3 here in the second half. Reggie Brooks is the running back. Farrat's going to throw on first down, and a collision as Desmond Howard and Eric Allen collided. Incomplete the call.
Nice coverage by Eric Allen. And he's just running with him. It looked like they had the zone going back there, and Allen just staying deep as the deepest. You can see he's looking back inside. See Eric Allen, how he has a feel for the receiver, but he's playing that 3-deep look. And what he's doing is he's feeling the guy and looking back at the quarterback, so when you see the ball thrown, you can make your break.
This is a big test for Gus Farrat here, trailing by 1 point early here in the fourth quarter. And And Farad will call the timeout, and that's the first for the Redskins here in the second half. And we'll take a break as well.
And by RCA, changing entertainment again.
You're going to watch why Gus Frerotte had to make that timeout. A little chess game going on. Watch the safety walk up, and they give him that 8-man front. And what happens is Frerotte didn't get the look that he wanted, so they countered what Norv Turner was doing by walking the people up and taking away that run possibility.
Bud Carson changes things up, throws out defenses, adds them by the day, it seems. Second down and 10 for Frerotte. Pass is incomplete. Winans, and the throw behind Titus Winans.
Well, he had time to throw that football. You see Rick Irvin still on the sideline, but it looked like the ball got tipped. To be honest with you, if that ball doesn't get hit, I think Otis Smith and William Fuller got a hand on it. I think Otis Smith could have been off to the races, and then Titus Winans, he had a shot at making that catch. In fact, it looked like he should have made the catch.
Fuller with 8 sacks, 1 in each game coming into this game. Frerotte now 10 of 25 for 155 yards. Frerotte has a lot of time. Goes outside, and Ethan Horton had the ball pop in and out of his arms.
A lot of time to throw. Great coverage downfield on the wide receivers. But watch the composure of Frerotte under pressure. Look at this. See, now he's looking downfield, nowhere to throw the football. That is really tough for a young quarterback to do. He knew where he wanted to go, and there is no excuse for that at all. That should never happen in this league.
Ferrat's last 5 passes have been incomplete, but of course that wasn't his fault. And Reggie Roby will kick for only the 3rd time. Jeff Seidner back for the Eagles. Seidner on the 29, dropped right there. James Jenkins on special teams. And the Eagles will take over, leading 21-20 here in the 4th quarter. By 1, want to remind you that this game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Washington Redskins and the National Football League is prohibited. First down on the 29-yard line. Eagles split backs with Walker and Joseph, and Walker goes in motion to the left. James Joseph slipped and fell before anyone hit him, and picks up 6 yards on the play. The Giants have tied up the Lions, and they needed a 2-point conversion to do it. And look how Cincinnati is giving Dallas all they can handle.
Buffalo crushing Kansas City.
Hey, that's a shocker in Cincinnati, regardless of the final score of that game, the way the Bengals, winless this year, have fought against the Cowboys. Second down and 4. Here's a play fake, and the pass to James Joseph. Upended, but not before he picks up an Eagle first down.
And Darrell Green hit him right on the knee.
And Joseph is shaken up after a gain of 8.
That's the waggle. They did that drag, and they brought Josephs all the way across. And Darrell Green is looking at a big man coming right at him. So he just gets down, and you can see him coming right here. So he just goes with the body block and hit him right on the knee.
Remember when the Eagles didn't have any running backs? Now they seem to have a bunch of them. In fact, Cunningham, who used to be the 2nd leading rusher, is now 5th on the list. He's carried 39 times, so they've been able to pass out the ball to many of the running backs, including James Joseph, who is injured. We'll be back.
This is called self-preservation. Now, if he wanted to be a big hitter, he'd have jumped up right in James Joseph's face. But instead, he just went with the body block, and I think what happened was his pads hit Joseph right on that knee.
3rd leading rusher and 3rd leading receiver for the Eagles, James Joseph. First down on the 43-yard line of the Eagles. Vaughn Hebron replaces Joseph in the backfield. Here's Hebron. Still on his feet, and Bayless makes the stop. But a first down and a big game into Redskin territory. A pick up a 16. Right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio. Go ahead, JB.
Hey, Dick, how dangerous is Dave Meggett? We'll take a look on this punt return. He heads towards the sideline. Looks like he's hemmed in. Van Malone and Tracy Scroggins missed the blocks, missed the tackles, that is. Hey, Meggett, he will not be caught directing traffic as he makes it to pay dirt. The two-point conversion ties it at 18. Back to Dick and Matt.
Unbelievable.
And a one-point game here, but the Eagles marching first down on the Redskin 41. And now Vaughn Hebron up the middle. And it's Shane Collins with a stop and a gain of 5 yards. Well, the Eagles are leading by 1 point, and their last touchdown by Walker gave them the lead. They have scored 14 points off turnovers. 2 field goals by Chip Lohmiller, including a 54-yarder. Gus Farrat, 10 of 26, 2 touchdowns, but also 2 interceptions, one of which returned by Greg Jackson for a score. Second down and 6 on the Redskin 37. Cunningham with time up the middle and intended for Hebron and tipped on a fine play by number 55, Andre Collins.
Cunningham looked inside, but Freddie Barnett on the outside, he really wanted to have that ball. And he's working on Carter, and you can see why. He drove him off, and he had a good 5 yards on him. See Cunningham looking back inside. Now watch Collins get his hand right in there. Good pass defense.
Very good pass defense by Washington. Barnett has caught 1 pass. Calvin Williams has been shut out today. Third down and 6. Here comes the blitz. And Cunningham reads it and hits Barnett for the first down.
You know, Fred Barnett called it right at the line of scrimmage. He was pointing at Tom Carter, and he stuck his hand up. And he yells to Cunningham, nobody's in the middle. So Cunningham gets no pressure because he knows the blitz is coming, and he knows right where he wants to go with the ball. Right away, because the center of the field is wide open. Watch, see Cunningham right there? He was yelling at him, and he gets right inside. That's a poor job of Tom Carter of not using your help, because your help is outside. There's nobody in the center of the field.
That's the man the Eagles thought they could work on. A 25-yard gain and a first down on the 12. Here's Herschel Walker. Dives forward to about the 7-yard line. So the big strike to Barnett. And the Eagles threatening now, leading by 1, 21-20. Gouveia and Collins on the stop. The clock running, still plenty of time remaining. Just outside 11 minutes in the fourth quarter. Remember, the Redskins have not yet won at home this year. There's Darrell Green. Looks like he was shaken out and shaken up, and he's on the sidelines. Alan Grant has replaced him. Second down and 4. Here's Hebron. Hebron gets over. Touchdown, Philly.
What a great run. That was pure desire by Vaughn Hebron. The difference in Hebron from a year ago is now he runs with strength. He always had the quickness. He always had the decisiveness. Now he's not afraid to lower the shoulders and go banging in there.
What did Rich Kotite say to us last night? He said, for some reason, this club knows how to play in the second half. They have 3 opportunities and 3 touchdowns in the red zone, but they have come up big in every important game they played in the second half.
And you see where he went to, right to Freddie Barnett, because Barnett made the read and the adjustment, and Cunningham gave him the big pass.
Eddie Murray. And the Eagles now lead at 28-20. And Vaughn Hebron kept the ball as he went over for his first touchdown of the year. The Oilers, big second half, won it for them. Started slowly here and have outscored the Redskins 21-3 in the second half and lead at 28-20 in the game. And that normally is the mark of a team that's going to win a lot of games late in the year. Kickoff is rattled to Brian Mitchell from Trey Johnson. Mitchell still on his feet and finally brought down on the 40-yard line.
Did you see Big Trey Johnson catch that thing? And he knew exactly what to do with it. Flip it back to the guy who knows what to do with it.
He's a heady player.
He's going to be a pretty good football player, too. Got a good mean streak for an offensive line. But look at the hands on the guy. Yeah, good bounce, did everything right, and then it hit him. Hey, I don't do this. Give it to the guy who does. Look at Mitchell. What a great balance.
Trey Johnson, you'll be hearing a lot about him. 71-yard drive for the Eagles, capped with a touchdown. First down, and Redskins, Brian Mitchell, who's having to carry the ball with Ricky Irvins out with a sprained left ankle. He's brought down by William Thomas and a pickup of 4. What a contrast this game has been, looking at the total yards, breaking it down by half.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the difference. Washington in the first half, 200, second half, they've been struggling a little bit. And that's a credit to the defensive adjustments of the Philadelphia Eagles and also the offense, because they've taken advantage of the thing. They move the ball down systematically, and then you see when the opportunity presents itself, Cunningham hits Barnett, and then they're in for a score.
Second down, 6, Jenkins in motion. Farrat with time, and his pass is caught.
Boy, I like this kid.
Henry Ellard and Greg Jackson defending a gain of 19 into Eagle territory.
And another nice call right there by North Turner. And look, no pressure around him whatsoever. It means the offensive line is doing his job. And remember, Henry Ellard's coming from the other side of the field. That's a long development play. That guy's got to get all the way over there, which means that the offensive line is doing a good job.
And so is Ellard. 42 of his 44 catches this season have been for first downs. First down on the 37, Brian Mitchell. And William Perry. Tough man to run into. 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, an 8-point deficit. And with, of course, with the 2-point conversion looming, Redskins can be in a position to score a touchdown and go for 2 to tie the game, just as the Giants did against the Lions.
And I think right now the Philadelphia Eagles, they're in sync right now. They're in sync defensively, and they're also in sync offensively.
Reggie Brooks is the back. Going deep for Titus Winans, and tipped away by Mark McMillan.
Yeah, there was a flag there because McMillan had his hand on him and gave him a push. There was some pushing going back and forth. Actually, it'll be interesting to see how they make this call.
McMillan has run almost to the other side of the end zone. In disgust, a big penalty called against the Philadelphia Eagles here. Let's see.
This thing could go either way because the ball's in the air.
Defense number 29. First down.
And the ball is in the air, and they were jockeying for position right at the end. McMillan and Winans down here on the bottom left hand of your screen. Watch them. See, there's the one, there's the hand, there's the push. And a nice ball defense right there by McMillan, but they caught him on the push, the hand to the chest.
That was a 33-yard penalty. McMillan pushed, and now it'll be first and goal at the 1 for the Redskins. That is the 5th penalty against the Eagles. There is a play fake and a pass. Touchdown! James Jenkins. Looks like they're going for the 2-point conversion here.
What a gutsy call by North Turner, and a nice call. Held everybody in with the play action, and the rollout hit James Jenkins on the delay.
The Eagles this year are 0 for 1 in 2-point conversions. This will be their second, or I should say the Redskins are 1 for 1. So this is their second 2-point conversion. 28-26 the score. Farrat trying to run it, and he won't make it. Stopped at the 1-yard line, and the Eagles maintain a 28-26 lead, and Byron Evans with the big play.
That's kind of like a pick play that they're running down there. Actually, they kind of shield it, and that ball has to come out quick because they get Winans, and they got him coming underneath, so you have to hit him. Now, this is the touchdown play. Watch, they go with the play action to draw everybody inside, and then they run the delay to Jenkins back outside. Nobody there. He beats Romanowski for the touchdown.
That is the third touchdown catch by Jenkins in the last 2 games. And a wise decision to go for 2 because a field goal they would need in any event, whether they made it or whether they missed it.
Well, now they go for 2 points. Now watch, this ball has to come out quick. They're trying to run a pick right there inside to get Henry Ellard the ball. Now, when the defense takes it away quick, there's nothing left for Farrat to do except to run it.
They go for 1, they need a field goal. They go for 2 and miss, which they did. They still need a field goal to take the lead. Third touchdown pass of the game by Gus Farrat. Here's the 2-point conversion attempt again.
And now watch, it's going to come back outside. They're going to try to clear this guy right here. See, they go with a pick. There's where it had to come right away. But the Eagles countered with a zone down there, and McMillan played it pretty well. If that ball is going to be thrown, it's got to come right away to get the ball into the hands of Ellard to give him a chance to get up inside.
Redskins went 60 yards in 4 plays. And the big play was the 33-yard pass interference penalty on McMillan.
That's an old penalty. 33 years.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well aged, I might add. Lohmiller kicking off to Vaughn Hebron at the goal line. Hebron breaks out of it and is wrestled down by Alan Grant.
You know, it seems to you like these games are always close.
Last 6 games, Matt, the biggest margin was 4 points, including the Eagles' win 3 weeks ago, 21-17 at Veterans Stadium. And in fact, in 12 of the last 14 games that these teams have played has been decided by a touchdown or less.
Well, and all that tells me is familiarity. Both teams know each other very, very well.
First down on the 29. Herschel Walker. And stood up immediately by Tyrone Stowe.
Boy, he's played himself a good football game today, Tyrone Stowe. Stuck his face in there all day today. Got that helmet pumped up. He's running around out there. He's made a couple of big hits from tackle to tackle, and that's why they brought him here.
Darrell Green remains on the sideline, and Alan Grant has taken his place.
You wonder how long it's going to take Cunningham to find Darrell Grant.
Second down and 8.
Or Alan Grant, rather. I'm thinking Darrell Green, and I'm saying Darrell Grant. Now, if he can play like Darrell Green there, he got no problem.
He'd be starting. Cunningham, flag down. Has a free play. And the penalty, I think, will be against the Redskins. No, it's against the Eagles.
Well, that was an ugly play.
Why didn't they blow it dead?
You know, it looked like they kind of blew it and then didn't, because half the guys started.
Offense, 2-man moving, penalty is declined. Third down.
So that goes as a sack.
Cunningham apparently could not hear the play with the roar, especially at that end of RFK Stadium.
And this is the RFK that the rest of the league knows. And that guys like Monty Coleman have come to love. Listen to this.
Cunningham pressed by Leonard Marshall. And he takes off with it, and it'll be fourth down. Lamont Hollingquest.
Good, solid defense by the Washington Redskins. They said they wanted to force Cunningham to roll to his left. So they get the pressure inside, and Marshall comes clean off the stunt. Now you got him running an unfamiliar side. He throws better to his right. Brings up the fourth down.
Brian Barker to kick. And Brian Mitchell. And the ball is down by the Eagles. And that was about the 41 by Otis Smith.
Yeah, but you see Miano right there? Somebody had already touched it, and then everybody started to clear. Miano came over and grabbed it. In the last few weeks, people have been picking it up, including Mitchell, and running after it hadn't been down.
Farrat 12 for 28, 174 yards, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and trying to give Norv Turner his first win here at RFK Stadium and give the Redskins their first win of the year. They've dropped 4 in a row here. But trailing by 2 with 6:15 remaining.
This could be, as the Farrat family is cheering him on, a defining moment for the young quarterback. I mean, I think he's passed all the tests today, to be honest with you.
Darrell Green has bruised ribs, and that's why he's been out of there for a while. First down on the 41. Brian Mitchell. Big opening for Brian Mitchell. A 33-yard gain.
The Eagles came with a blitz to the top side, and Mitchell just ran away from it. You're going to watch him bounce out. The other side, he's going to come in here, outside. See the blitz coming this way. And now watch him just get outside, and then Titus Winans stays on the block of McMillan, and he just runs right between them. Watch, there's 1 missed tackle. There's 2 missed tackles. And then he's into the secondary where they finally get him. Good, strong running by Mitchell.
Longest run from scrimmage allowed by the Eagles defense this year. First down at the 25-yard line, and it's Mitchell again. A gain of 2.
I got to tell you, the offensive line of the Washington Redskins has played better than I thought they could play. I mean, they're being physical when they have to be physical. They've always kept their bodies on other bodies. I think it's a credit to Jim Hanifin, the offensive line coach, as well as every one of those guys out there today.
166 yards rushing. More than double of their season's average. And Bud Carson trying to find an answer here. 2nd and 8. Mitchell. Maybe a yard. Townsend. And Romanowski.
You know, you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and the defense they have this year, much has been talked about across the league with all the people changing teams and everybody saying, oh, you know, the 49ers have done so well and all these key pickups. Philadelphia Eagles got the best deal of all the teams in the league with the people they've picked up, because every guy they've brought in has contributed and they've been major players.
Many of them on the defensive front. 3rd and 7. Tipped at the line of scrimmage, goes incomplete, and that will bring up 4th down. But the Eagles stop the Redskins, and now Lohmiller will come in to try to give the Redskins the lead. They're trailing by 2.
What a great job of Chess out there. This time the Eagles come with a blitz to force it to happen quick, and they get enough pressure to tip the ball and force the field goal attempt.
Lohmiller with 2 for 2 today, 54 and 23 yards.
And the Redskins need one more guy. It's Trey Johnson. Here he comes running onto the field. And that's forced them to take a timeout.
And the Redskins have used their 2nd timeout of this 2nd half. 4:02 remain. Attempt a 39 or 40-yard field goal, depending where the placement will be. Rich Kotite's Eagles trailed most of this game in the 2nd half. Took a 28-20 lead before the late touchdown. And so today, including today, those are Lohmiller's numbers. And it will be a 40-yard attempt with John Freese, the holder.
That's good.
And the kick is good. The Redskins lead.
Well, he nailed that thing. That's the best I've seen him kick all year.
That could have gone 60.
He got all that thing.
29 29-28. The Redskins lead with just under 4 minutes left.
Watch him hit this thing, just jumps right off his foot. I mean, there's never a doubt. As soon as it was off, it was up. And I mean, that thing could have made it another 20 yards. Look how high up it hits. It's still going up when it gets there. You think that doesn't make for a happy guy? 3 for 3 today, kicking well back at home.
A terrific game. There it is again. Chip Lohmiller.
He knew it as soon as he hit it.
Field goals from 54, 23, and 40 yards today. Want to remind you, at the end of the game, Matt and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game. Maybe it'll be that guy. Remember, the Eagles still have plenty of time remaining, and they have 2 timeouts, trailing by 1 point. Maybe it'll be Eddie Murray, who has struggled today, missing 2 field goals. The Eagles have won the last 4 in the last minute of play. Are we in for a repeat? Lohmiller with a low kick. And it'll be Hebron returning for the Eagles. Gets it out to about the 23-yard line. Well, Halloween is just a day away. And to get you into the spirit, the Simpsons are bringing you a 2-hour scare-a-thon tonight, beginning at 7, 6 Central, followed by brand new episodes of Married with Children and The George Carlin Show. It's all part of Fox's Halloween Bash tonight.
Boy, the crowd is really into it. This is when football's fun to play. I mean, the motions are going. It's a tight game. It's a division rival. You got great players on both sides. Crowd screaming.
And Darrell Green is back in there for the Redskins. First down, Cunningham. And the pass is caught by Victor Bailey. Good catch by Bailey at the sideline.
And this is when great players play great. And if that throw is any indicator, as the Eagles go with their hurry-up offense, they're in good shape, because Cunningham, he was right on the money.
Gain of 11 on the Eagle 35. First down out of the shotgun. Cunningham has it nearly intercepted by Hollingquest. He knocked it in the air but couldn't hold on. There's Holmes with a broken hand getting up slowly.
Boy, he's played a good game too. They gave him a lot of time, and Cunningham looking in the zone, but he doesn't see Hollingquist working from underneath. That ball gets tipped up. Could have been a big play. Instead, it brings up 2nd and 10.
Remember, Calvin Williams has not caught a pass yet today. 2nd and 10. Pass to Hebron underneath. Vaughn Hebron is stopped at the 45-yard line by Martin Bayless as we wind down to 3 minutes remaining. Eagles still with 2 timeouts left.
We haven't talked very much at all about Ken Harvey today, and that's because Bernard Williams, the left offensive tackle, the rookie, has really been playing well today.
3rd down and 1. Quarterback sneak by Randall Cunningham, and he picks up about 5, at least 5 for the first down, and gets into Redskin territory.
You know, I think Randall Cunningham might be the best quarterback sneaker in the league. Man, when he came into the league, he was that way. And the key, what he does, is he always takes a little bit of a step. See, he takes that little delay step, and then he waits for things to develop, and then he goes. And that's a great shot. You see his eyes get real big.
First down underneath again. Intended for Hebron, off his hands, and deflected once again. Hollingquest, he's had 2 chances for interceptions here on this drive. 2:14 remaining in the 4th quarter. The Redskins lead by 1 point.
Well, we got a battle going on over that left side. Bernard Williams, number 74, the rookie offensive tackle, and Ken Harvey, right defensive end right now.
Walker lines up in the slot to the left on 2nd and 10. intended for Calvin Williams and defense downfield by Alan Grant.
Harvey going with the speed rush and decides to try to power. Watch him take the 2 steps, get into the chest to Williams, and Williams starts to get on his heels, so you got help coming from the inside. That's a great job of Alexander knowing where to go with your help.
Last time Calvin Williams was shut out was on October 11th, 1992, 2 years ago against the Chiefs. 3rd down and 10. He hasn't caught one yet. Walker out to the left. Cunningham with time, and the pass is caught. And this time, Calvin Williams makes his first catch against Grant, and it's a big one as we get down to our 2-minute warning. 14-yard gain, and it couldn't come at a better time for Calvin Williams.
Timeout. Grant, number 26 in the slot. Calvin Williams right here, number 89. I'll tell you something, you can't play this coverage any better. Uses his help, makes him run through him to the outside. You know what the difference is? Randall Cunningham threw that ball the only place it could be thrown. And it's a nice catch. Grant had great coverage. Sometimes you can do everything right, and it still goes against you.
He was training to be a fireman in Atlanta when he was called upon many weeks ago to join the Redskins as a nickel back. He played well that game and has impressed the Redskins ever since. But now the Eagles threaten with 2 minutes to go. First down on the Washington 34. And the flip to Hebron.
Boy, that's a nice play.
Hebron has the first down. Hollingquist on the tackle. And Broderick Thompson was out front blocking.
Yeah, you see who those big blockers were, though? The wide receivers, Calvin Williams and Victor Bailey. They got the blocks. Watch on the outside. They're going to take this. They're going to throw it right back outside. There's one block right there. And then here's the other one, Calvin Williams on Andre Collins. And then big Broderick Thompson gets out there and blocks the DB.
Eddie Murray waiting in the wings for the Eagles. First down on the 17. That was a 17-yard gain. Vaughn Hebron is going to get thrown for a loss by a host of Redskins, including Ken Harvey, Sterling Palmer, and a loss of 3 yards with 1:41 remaining.
Well, that last play was really well designed and executed. They got those guys out there. It was interesting because they put the little guys, the wide receivers, blocking the big guys. Then they took the big guy and blocked him on the little guy.
The Eagles have 2 timeouts left. The Redskins 1. Second down and 13. The Eagles already in field goal range. And there goes the hand up the middle to Herschel Walker. Remember, Eddie Murray has missed his 2 field goal attempts today, his first misses of this season.
The timeout called right now.
And the Redskins call the timeout. That is their last timeout. That's interesting, Matt.
No, you got to take it right here. If you don't take it here, they let another 30 seconds run off the clock, and that puts them at about 30 seconds when they bring up the 4th down. That's saying they stopped them. So you take your timeout here. Hopefully they get an incomplete pass, and then Murray tries the field goal, and you give yourself about 40 seconds to try to work the field.
Murray had made 9 in a row and 19 straight over 2 years before he missed earlier in the game from 49 yards and again from 42 yards. This attempt would be closer in. Redskins may be thinking about what they'll do without any timeouts remaining offensively to try to get into field goal range to win it.
No question. And the first part of that quotient is going to be the return game of Brian Mitchell, who's been having a great game returning again. But first, they've got to stop him here on 3rd down.
And Alan Grant has come in for Darrell Green, who's out of the game. 3rd down and 9. And the give is to Walker. And he gets inside the 15-yard line where Andre Collins makes the stop. And now Eddie Murray will come on in for the Eagles.
Well, big Antone Davis was hot. He thought he had something outside, started jumping up and down when that play was over because Herschel broke it back inside. He must have seen something no one else did.
So here's Murray, who has kicked so successfully over the years with the Detroit Lions and then last year with the Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys.
You can see there's 12 seconds, 10. They're going to make this kick with about 23 seconds left. Or they're going to leave it run all the way down and then call the timeout so they can use all the time on the clock.
And the Eagles are left with one timeout. And as you mentioned, just 23 seconds on the game clock. And if the Redskins ever had an effective block play on a field goal attempt, this would be the time.
Yeah, well, you wish it was that easy. Say, all right, put the block play in, no problem. Hey, we got the block play. Don't worry, we're going to block it.
Johnny Thomas has come in for the Redskins. Tim Johnson, there is Thomas. Farad hoping to get another chance, but as you mentioned, Matt, he passed the test today, regardless of what the final score of this game will be.
Yeah, and you look at his attempts and completions, and, you know, they're not the greatest. You can see Eddie Murray 4 for 4 inside the 30-yard line. This will be a 31-yard attempt.
John Hudson, the snapper. Brian Barker, the holder. Eddie Murray. And the kick is perfect, and the Philadelphia Eagles have regained the lead 31-29 with only 19 seconds remaining. And the Skins out of timeouts. Murray with a 30-yard field goal, 1 of 3 today, but the one he made was a big one.
Never in doubt. Murray hit it clean like Miller previous. Thing's still going up by the time it hits that net in the back.
He knew it. Well, another great finish, and it could be, if the Redskins don't score, that the Eagles will have won 5 in a row over the Redskins. All of those wins coming in the last minute of play.
It's amazing. And that's what rivalries do, and like I talked about a million times, that's familiarity, knowing each other. And now the first part of the Redskin chance will fall into the hands of Brian Mitchell if they kick the ball that deep to him.
In case you're wondering, Chip Lohmiller, who kicked a 54-yard field goal earlier, has his career long of 56 yards back in 1990 and hopes to get that opportunity. Mitchell is back, and Murray will kick off. And a good kick sends Mitchell back inside his 10. Mitchell, unbelievable, gets tripped up. Otherwise, he might have had another 10 yards out of it. And it was Eric Zomalt on the tackle with 13 seconds remaining.
And they're about 30 yards away from a field goal try.
Coming up on the NASDAQ Stock Market Post-Game Report, JB and Terry will get you caught up on all the action with scores and highlights from this 9th week of the NFL season. That's all coming up next on the NASDAQ Stock Market Post-Game Report. Redskins out of timeouts. First down on their own 40-yard line. Farad.
Boy, he's got him.
He's got Desmond Howard. And Howard can't get out of bounds. Eric Allen makes the stop, and the clock is going to run down.
That's it.
The game is over, and the Eagles have won. And Herschel Walker is the Miller Lite Player of the Game. And the Philadelphia Eagles once again do it in the second half and come from behind to win. And now have raised their record to 6-2 on the year. And the Redskins drop to 2-7. For Matt Millen, I'm Dick Stockton saying so long from RFK Stadium. Coming up next on the NASDAQ Stock Market Post-Game Report, JB and Terry with scores and highlights from around the NFL. You are watching Fox Sports coverage of the National Football League.
What a...